Did y'all ever have like that one crush growing up who you were just gonna move mountains for completely to the point where you humiliated yourself and like everyone knew you weren't gonna get with that person? That was me back in middle school. Like this girl, I was basically her friend when she came to my middle school. She was a new kid and all that fun shit, right? And like I said, I liked that girl, like from the moment. And back then, this was like my seventh grade year in middle school. So this was like 2016. So I would always make sure to be the first person to like her, to be honest, post on Instagram, all that stuff. And she said, "Oh, you're my bestie. You're my bestie." I thought being the best friend was the way to get her. Like I would always, oh my God, like I would always ask her to look after my streaks and get her my password on Snapchat to keep my streaks, and like we'd always take pictures and stuff. Everyone knew I liked her and it was obvious. I think she did too. But like here's the thing. She would always go and sleep with like all the other guys. Like she was doing this in seventh, eighth, and like ninth grade. She was doing this with like guys and shit back then because back then for some reason that was cool in middle school, which is weird. But yeah, she would go around other guys and all that stuff. She would hop from guy to guy. And my dumbass, I thought I was, getting closer and closer. I'm like, okay, if I get closer and be her closest friend and all that shit, she'll definitely let me date her, right? And it never worked out. It never did. Like when we got to high school, oh man, no, I remember it was winter break of eighth grade. I sent her a long ass paragraph, and back then they were online, so I copied that shit, and then I would say, "Oh, I love you too, little sis," and she was like, "Oh, I love you," da, 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 da. And that made me feel good as fuck. Like I was a happy ass dude, but it's so embarrassing to think about it, but who cares? And I will always just message her every day, like with these long ass paragraphs and shit that were obviously from online. And she was like, "Okay, I get it, I get it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just confessing my love." And then I remember one dumb thing I did, and I hate this to this day, but back in 10th grade, I basically posted a picture of her with a whole ass paragraph of how much I love her and shit. And then I remember going to sleep. I'm like, okay, I go to sleep. People are going to think, "Oh, he's sweet, da 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 da." I look up, motherfuckers posted L, laughing at me, making fun of me, all that shit. And then I had to lay low for a few days because like I was so fucking embarrassed. I couldn't even hold my head up high in school because back then you had to go to school. You had to. You had to go to school. There was no virtual days or any of that. This is like 2019, my sophomore year of high school. And I would just, man, I would just have my head down, hoodie down, headphones in, like in the morning coming to school. And I'm big, so like people can't miss me. I would just dodge and avoid them like the plague. And it died out, but like, oh my God. And like going to football practice after that shit, everyone was just laughing at me. I was a joke. Oh my God. And then it got so bad, like, I remember I would give her Uber rides. Like, this is before we had our licenses in 10th grade too, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I can send you an Uber. I was using my dad's card. So I'm like, okay, I would pay for her Uber rides to see other guys and shit. And like I said, this is my simp brain. This is my simp brain at like 16, 17 years old. I thought this girl would like me. And like I said, I'm like, okay, it got to a point where I was spending a lot of money on my dad's card for Ubers. And my dad was like, "Son, stop doing this, stop doing this." And, I kept doing it because she sent me this one text. This is the last night, like the last time I think I ever spoke to her too, actually. I gave her an Uber ride and I was like, "Hey, will you kiss me if I do? Like, after you take this Uber ride to this guy's house, come to mine and you could kiss me and stuff." She was like, "Okay." And, okay, I did it. And my parents saw that. Like, my dad got the Uber notification on his phone because we went to see the movie. I remember it was Purge Anarchy. I think that was the one at the time. It was one of those. But I remember my mom was so fucking mad at me, y'all. My mom was pissed off. And like I said, my dad was madder and he made me call her. She didn't answer, but my dad was like, "What's her address? You send her Ubers. We're going to go to her house and you're going to stay here." I'm like, "Oh, man." And then I remember being in bed. I'm like, "Oh, this is over. It's over. Oh, my God." And then, my dad was like, "Yeah, we talked," and all that stuff. Her parents didn't know what she was doing. And that was the last time I ever spoke to her. And like I said, at that point, I'm like, yeah, I got to have some self-respect. And looking back at it now, so that year was 2018, 2019. This is almost 7, 8 years later. Wow, it's been a long time. This is 2026. I'm 20, about to be 24 years old, and come to find out, she has been locked up numerous times. She's actually had cocaine possessions, marijuana possessions, fentanyl, heroin. She looks strung out. Like, if you look at her, she just looks like completely like a skeleton, like Jack Skeleton or some shit. And like I said, to all my guys listening to this is an embarrassing story, but you have to have these embarrassing stories and like just laugh at it. Because now I have a beautiful partner. I have a beautiful girlfriend who I love, and I know she loves me. And to all my guys out there, the friend zone is somewhere you choose to be. The friend zone is where you choose to be at. Like, you choose to put yourself in that position. You can take yourself out of it. But like I said, if you like her, if she liked you, she would actually move mountains, and she would actually reciprocate that energy back to you. But like I said, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. And you choose to put yourself in that position. And like I said, man, it's an embarrassing story, but looking back at it now, I can laugh at it. And I guess I got the last laugh. I'm a college graduate in grad school, and she's basically a crackhead, emaciated crackhead at that. And yeah, so like I said, guys, you choose to put yourself in that position. So yeah, comment down below your, cringe simp stories, because I'd love to hear it. I'm not alone on